Hello and welcome back to my channel. Now today's video is a bit delayed. It was basically talking about Jackett's future. Me and Dad did record this together. My phone deleted the footage. We did it again, it deleted it again. I don't know what happened. So this is just going to be me. We might do a separate video later talking about it together and discussing it. This is simply the podcast, basically just talking about Jackett, what we think of him, what I think of the playoffs. Obviously we can see that a stupid goal on Monday that I don't think anything can defend it. I think Bass called it, Harrison headed it in. Not Bass's fault in the slightest. First leg, maybe the goal was his fault. But we should be going for games. We've gone 1-0 up in both of them. We've not gone for more. We've gone 1-0 up and then gone right and we've sat back. What I think we needed to do was go for the one and then keep going. You don't go for one goal in a playoff match and then just finish there and hope for the 1-0. You want to get as many as possible and get the lead going into the next leg. Now, this has obviously brought questions about Jackett's future, especially with his team selection in those games. He selected Tom Naylor out of the squad. He put on the bench. He put Ben Close nowhere to be seen. He brought Bryn Morris straight back in after injury. I think there was a lot of questions about what he did. Obviously, he made a few changes during matches as well that people kind of thought, hold on, why are you doing that? But I think I'm still not 100% let's get rid of Jackett, but I think I'm 75%, 25% swinging in the favour of Jackett out. Simply because, yes, he has a track record, that's the 25%. He has a record of getting teams out of his division. Nobody can deny that, nobody can take that away from him. He's got teams out of it before, he's done it, he's been there, done that, got the t-shirt. However, he's had 3 seasons of us now. First season, fair enough, we nearly got to the playoffs. That was when we got promoted. Second season, we were 7 points clear. He messed it up. We didn't even get promoted. We messed up the playoffs. Third season, everyone was like, right, we have to go up this season or it's curtains. He then proceeded to start the season awfully, calling on haters towards him, and then end it with the playoffs, which we didn't play well in. And I think even though we may have outclassed Oxford for parts of games, we didn't finish them off and we didn't do what we needed to do ultimately. We may have played better than them for 50%, but they played better than us for the other 50%. We never looked like in those games that we were going to win the playoffs. And I hate to say that because I wish I could have thought, yeah, we can win the playoffs. But even now, I can't even think that we could have won the playoffs. Even if we got to the final, I don't think we could have beat Wickham. They're just the ultimate team that will get results however they play, even though they don't play well. But it's also the fact that Paul Cook, when we had him, he lost the playoffs. In either his first or second season, he lost the playoffs. But he didn't go, oh no, right, we have to do it next season. Promise false promises and then come back and do the same thing he did the season before. He came back, built his squad again, and he went for it. We may have started slow, but after January, I only think we lost 1 game, and he went and won the league. And that's something Jackett hasn't done. Jackett's come back in and he's done the exact same thing all over again. He's come back in and probably got worse. Yes, we lost Matt Clark. Yes, we lost Jamal Lowe. But he had the money to replace them. We got money in that we could have easily splashed out another centre back and another right mid. Obviously, Harness and Williams coming in probably has replaced Lowe. But who's replaced Clark? Rackett came in and did a job, but he was on loan. No one came in permanently to go, right, let's replace Clark, which I think was the problem we had from the get-go this season. We've had many problems this season, obviously. Cup runs we did well in, but league we never looked good enough to get promoted in, and I hate to say that. But I think now would be the perfect time for a rebuild. You look at our squad, we're about to lose 8 first teamers, minimum, in the summer. Maybe we might be able to keep a couple of them, but it would be very unlikely. We're about to lose, McGillivray will probably want to leave as well, Curtis will probably leave. We're about to lose a few key players. No, we'll have no left back. Now would be the time to get rid of Jackett and just go, right, we'll start again. You bring in the new manager with a new philosophy. That manager comes in and builds the squad he wants to build, and we go for it again. There's a few managers out of jobs at the minute. You got Lee Johnson, you got Gary Monk, you got people like that who could definitely do a job at Pompey. But I think the fans, more than anything, want enjoyable football again. Now, whether that's under Jackett, I can't see it. His football is not enjoyable. As much as some people want to say it is, I can't bring myself to say it. He just hoofs it out the park and hopes that the striker wins it on the head, which never happens. And that's just, I don't think any fan can even back him up on that anymore. It isn't good enough. Whether whether or not you like the man, I don't think any fan can disagree with me there that isn't the way Pompey should be playing. That isn't the way you want to play if you get promoted. It may have worked in the 90s, but it doesn't work anymore. And that's the sad thing of it. Like, when Jackett came in, I was so hopeful. I was happy about it. It was a good appointment. But looking back on it, I don't think it was the right appointment then. Now, like, then it was, but he's had the time. And yes, we may not have finished the season. Yes, he may not have been given the full chance at automatics this season. Because obviously we could have gone for that, possibly, if the season had finished. We could have hit some form. We could have beaten teams. We had Oxford to play, Rotherham to play, Ipswich to play. We could have beaten them. But at the end of the day, we weren't good enough throughout the season. And we were good at home, not good away. And in order to get promoted, you need to be consistent. Look at Coventry. They were consistent home and away. Well, home and away. Which even shows it even more. If they didn't have a proper ground, they still managed to win home games and get promoted. They've gone up with no home ground. So basically they played they played however many away matches, and they still got promoted. Even Rotherham, who, yes, they've lucked out. Yes, they were there when it happened, so they've got into automatics. Probably the luckiest team to ever get promoted. But they played good football. We may have beaten them, but they played good football. They had like Freddie Ladapo scoring goals. They played football on the floor and they played quick passing. They played quick up the park, down the wings, expansive attacking football, which is what our team suits. You look at the likes of Andy Cannon, Ellis Harrison, Marcus Harness, Ronan Curtis. They all want to play attacking football. Ben Close, even. John Marquis. They want to play on the floor, passing around and scoring goals. That's what John Marquis is used to playing as well. You buy a striker that's used to playing attacking football and scoring goals with two up front, and you put him up there by himself. He's not going to do a job up front by himself, and that's the sad thing about it. But we now have to move on from this. And the question is how. We now have to spend a lot of money in the transfer window on players. I don't think any fan will disagree with me on that. Let me know who you think we should bring in the comments. But I don't think anyone could disagree with that. I think Fleetwood they're the other team that got knocked out of the playoffs. They probably don't have to bring as many people in. As far as I'm concerned, they don't have 8 players leaving on free transfers. Wickham or Oxford are the same. Oxford will have a few loanees, just like Shrewsbury did a couple of years ago. But let's just look at it. They're not going to be losing loads of players if they come up with them. Neither are Wickham. So that's where our problems lie, first and foremost, that we're going to be losing a load of players. Now, in the current financial climate, that's going to be difficult to replace them. You look at some of the clubs at the minute; they have to get rid of players. Like even Sunderland had to just bin off Carl Lafferty after one season because they couldn't afford to keep paying him. We might have the same fate, and if we do have that same fate, we're not going to be able to compete next season without any money because we need to pay. We need to spend money on players. It's just going to be very, very difficult to compete in this league next season. Especially, it's going to be much harder. Look at the other teams coming down. You could have Luton back. You could have Barnsley back. You could have Hull and have a good side. Well, they're not in the Championship at the minute, but they will be in League One. Look at the likes coming up: Crewe, Northampton, Plymouth, and Swindon. Good footballing teams. They're playing attacking football, which we need to start playing. But I don't want to make this a sad video. Obviously, I feel bad for the boys. Cameron McGinn missing the penalty. Nothing. He stood up and taken one. It takes balls to do that. So all credit to him for taking it. He may have missed, but it was a good save. I don't think any fan of the club can disagree that it was a good save. But we now have to rebuild and go again, and that's all I can really say at the minute is I'm upset and I'm a bit annoyed. Obviously, some refereeing decisions didn't go our way, but it's football. And at the end of the day, football's football. Whatever happens, it's done. I could go on complaining for 2 hours about what the referee did wrong, about red cards, about penalties, but it's happened. There's nothing I can do now that will change the course of the playoffs. There's nothing we can say about Jackett to change the course of last season. We have to just write that season off and go again. There is nothing we can do about it. And whether or not you like that, obviously we cannot forget we've got to learn from these mistakes. But you can't keep complaining. We have to move on, is all I can say. I want to keep complaining, but I can't. And I hope everyone's keeping themselves happy. I'm obviously a bit annoyed, a bit upset that we haven't got promoted. Dad's the same. He's not happy. He wants Jackett to go, and I think a lot of fans do. Let me know in the comments what you think about Kenny now, what you think about our squad now, who you reckon we should sign. Obviously Cameron McGinn, we've gone in for a permanent for him, which I think would be a good transfer. Ronan Curtis has had a bid come in from Brentford, I believe. If that's accepted, we could be in a bit of trouble. Burgess has obviously already left a Royal Club de Union Gilo, or however, or Gelose, I don't know how to pronounce it. But good luck to him. And can we get 15 likes on this video? Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.